Hey, Jeff here, your YouTube reviewer of New England brews. Welcome back to NEBR. I was sort of inspired to do a review of Ipswich Ale from the Mercury Brewing Company out of Ipswich, Massachusetts, which comes in with a 5.4% ABV. The reason I'm doing this Ipswich Original Ale is because my very good friend Jay, who does the Louisiana beer reviews, apparently picked himself up a mix pack of Ipswich ales recently, and he's been beating me to the punch on a New England brew, so figured I'd try to beat my good old friend Jay by doing a review of Ipswich. Plus, it is a beer I've had several times, and it's a beer worth reviewing here on NEBR. So, let me get right into this glass, but first of all, I like to show off the Ipswich cap. It does have that schooner ship on the top on many of their brews. But this is one of their standard bearers. This is their Ipswich Original Ale. And I'm going to pour it into a Whitbread Ale, a little dimpled glass. It's kind of a small one, but Whitbread is an English brew. And I'll pour it in here. I won't get the whole thing in because I think this is only maybe an 8-ounce glass or so. But now I have had this one many times, so I kind of already know what to expect. There we go, fill it right up. Put this here, you may or may not be able to see it still. Alright then, let's check out the color on this. First of all, I'm getting kind of a slightly cloudy, slightly hazy, amber to orange pour with a bit of a light head. Not a big head, it's just kind of a white, sort of, off-white, mostly white, sort of fizzy head, and it looks like it's going down pretty quickly, going down pretty rapidly, and will probably completely disappear shortly. Now let's check out the aroma on this baby. This is coming in with a nice bold aroma. It's a decent kind of a barley grain note, and I'm getting a nice caramel maltiness as well. Moderate sweetness, more of the caramel, but not a sugar sweetness, but just sort of a moderate sweetness. And definitely the pale malts are coming in pretty clearly. Some cereal malts, something like that. So I mean, it really smells like this kind of an ale should. It really has just the right type of aroma for a standard ale like this. Now, let's check out the taste. This is an easy drinking beer. But before I get to that, let me talk a little bit about the body. I'm getting kind of a medium body and somewhat on the smooth side. As I said, it's very easy to drink, so I've just taken about almost a fifth of this little glass in 2 sips. Now the taste does have a notable toffee kind of caramel flavor up front in the malts, and a mild sweetness, but it's not overly sweet. The sweetness is more subtle and mild, but there's definitely a sweetness more than a bitterness on this one. And then the hops tend to be more clean and crisp at the very end. They're not what I would call really highly bitter. They're kind of a low to moderate bitterness. Nothing that really lingers very long. It's really more of the caramel and the sweetness that sort of takes over all the sensations on this one. There's something else going on here as well. I'm getting almost kind of a sort of a woody kind of flavor, almost kind of a it's a musky kind of flavor as well. It's not like an old ale or something where it's really in your face. It's just something that's kind of, it feels like this has been sitting around for a little while. Really hasn't been that much. I didn't check the date on this. I know I just bought this within the last month or so, so I don't see a date right off the bat here. Yeah, nothing right away. I know a lot of people are critical of that, but Ipswich does put on the side of their bottle itself, they actually put on here guaranteed fresh and local. So, and here in New Hampshire, it is pretty fresh and local because Ipswich, Mass isn't that far away from where I live. There might be a kind of buttery note as well. But again, there's a slight muskiness, not really a cellar muskiness, but you know, maybe there's a difference between a cellar and an attic. I don't know, but maybe I'm just, you know, making up some kind of expression right now. But it's not a high muskiness, but I'm getting the slightest bit of something like that that gives me the feeling that it's sort of like a mild old ale. But you know, that's probably not the best way to describe it. But Ipswich puts out a lot of good brews, or actually Mercury, but the Ipswich name brand, they are pretty, you know, consistently good brews, I must say. I routinely find brews from with the Ipswich name that are good names. So anyway, you know, I want to give this a pretty good review, a pretty good rating. It's really worth checking out if you can get it. If my friend Jay is speaking up in Louisiana, that means it's outside of New England. So you might be able to find it up and down the Atlantic coast a little bit. But that's it for today. This is the Ipswich Original Ale from Massachusetts. Thanks for stopping by. I'll catch you again next time.